late model Racecraft. We talking or we racing?
Welcome back to the channel, guys. Behind me, Mr. Tullis's 2017 ZL1 Camaro. Mr. Tullis has had this car for a while now with our 800 horsepower package. Now he's back for some more. Let me show you under the hood and tell you about it. All right, Mr. Tullis has been a good customer of ours. Like I just stated, it was an 800 horsepower package for a while now. He is in the state of Texas, so he's put our 800 horsepower package to the test and abuse in this Texas heat. Now he's back for 1,000 horsepower Fereday edition ZL1 Camaro. And what is a Fereday edition Camaro Corvette, which makes it different than our normal 1,000 horsepower packages? Not only the performance end of it, but also when it comes to the appearance, when it comes to aero, comes to braking, wheels, tires, exhaust, the whole 9 yards. The car needs to look as well as it performs. And for me to put my name on it, I'm honored to put my name on some of these cars. I have great customers that allow me to build them as it was my car, and essentially that's what Mr. Tullis let me do with his vehicle. So from looking from the outside, you see it's not a 1LE, but we did the front splitter. In my opinion, looks phenomenal. Obviously, wheels and tires all the way around, and a ZL1 1LE style carbon fiber rear spoiler. So from the outside, this car to me just looks like it's ready to hit the road course, right? So the looks are there, the aero's there for high speeds. Now let's get back to the performance. So under the hood, the 800 package is pretty much a bolt-on package with cam and headers and a stock 1.7 liter supercharger. Well, Mr. Tullis let me go and do it the way I wanted to do. So we removed the 1.7 liter supercharger, we installed the Magnuson 2650, which is obviously the first thing you see when you pop the hood. Beautiful billet lid with the logos on each side. It is still a stock short block, so it still has the same camshaft in it that it did with the 800 horsepower package. Still has American Racing headers. Main changes are now we have bigger supercharger, a little bit more boost. We want to be able to get more fuel to it. So we have an external fuel pump on this thing, as well as a bigger mechanical fuel pump, bigger DI injectors, everything needed to run E85 or pump gas. And again, once you start adding all that horsepower to it, we've got to address drivetrain components. Of course, we put a aftermarket clutch in it as well. And guys, this setup here is making over 900 rear wheel horsepower very efficiently. And again, the reason why we stop at that number is it is a DI setup only. That is pretty much the limit that I can go on a direct injection setup on E85. If Mr. Tullis wants more than this, I would recommend building the short block. Obviously we do like a 416 or a 427, then we could put port injection on it for a more fuel system. But for your average guy to have a weekend toy and not have to worry about doing a meth kit, checking meth or doing anything, this guy can put 93 octane in it, go drive it, put E85 in it, pick up another 150 horsepower and go drive it and beat the shit out of it and have a blast doing it. There's really no other maintenance to this car than he did previously with his 800 horsepower package. The only other thing that makes it a little bit different inside the car is the P3 gauge, which y'all haven't seen our channel before. So for the ethanol content, that way Mr. Tullis knows how much ethanol he has in the car, whether it's E10, which is usually pump gas, almost all pump gas. 93 octane here in Texas is around 10%, give or take. Most gas stations that we pump here in Texas are usually around 70%, between 60 and 70. Every once in a while you'll find an 85% gas station, but for the most part, again, I wanted to build this car like I would if it was my car. It looks good, it sounds good, with the Corsa exhaust for the cat back. I know in a lot of our videos I talk about the stock mufflers because you can make them loud or quiet. Well, this is a weekend toy. He wants it to be rowdy, he wants it to be fast as shit. The Corsa mufflers is the icing on the cake. It sounds incredible at wide open throttle. So it looks good, guys. I'm about to hop in it and show you what this thing can do. With 3 pedals in it, making over 900 rear wheel horsepower, it's gonna be a blast to drive and I'm gonna have my hands full. So let me see how crazy it is for me. So Mr. Tullis, you be ready because I know it's gonna be wild. out in first test drive in Mr. Tullis's 2017 ZL1. This thing's gonna be a monster. It is gonna be a badass car. The Magnusons, with the torque that they make with 3 pedals, is so much fun to drive. Those of you that watch our channel, if you go back probably a couple videos, you'll see a C7 that we did, Magnuson on pump gas, making 800 rear wheel horsepower. I had a Toyo 888 on that. You can see how I had my hands full in second and third gear. This is essentially the same thing, with another 100 rear wheel horsepower more, because we're running on E85 instead of pump gas. And I might have already said this, I forget, but the DI, we run these cars DI only up to a certain point, then we add port injection to it for fueling. This setup right here is pretty much the maximum that we go for direct injection only. Usually right over 900 rear wheel horsepower is where we max out a mechanical fuel pump and DI injectors. Anything more than that, we will need port injection. But I'm gonna do leave traction control on. I'm gonna do a third gear pull at first, see what she does, and then maybe we'll do some second gear burst depending on traction. But Mr. Tullis, he's gonna have his hands full with this one. I already know it. I was only at 3,000 RPMs when I took off. Again, traction control on, I didn't want to worry about traction, and just make a full pull, third and fourth, so I can get good data. This thing rips. Now again, if I was going to race somebody or someone pulled up next to me, I'd rather be at 4,000, 4,500 RPMs before I take off, which we'll do again here in a second to show you guys. Even third gear is going to haze the tires, but starting off at 3,000, it allowed me to just roll into it nice and easy so I can get good data. But holy shit, you grab fourth gear and this thing feels so good. So I can only imagine what second is gonna feel in this. But let me pull over real quick. Let me check the log. As always, make sure everything looks nice and safe because we are running E85. And like I said, this is a max effort DI setup. Our 1,000 horsepower package that we build on E85 that make, again, we can really only push them 900, some make 930, 940. Every car is just a little bit different, but we can only make so much with the DI setups. Let's see here. Mr. Tullis, going from an 800 horsepower package like he had before to this is gonna be a night and day difference. Alright, so just to share data with you guys, remember, manual cars are a lot different than automatics when it comes to ETs and how they 60 to 130 or quarter mile and all that stuff. Because I took off in third gear at literally 3,100 RPM, so I'm in nowhere near the power band at 58 miles an hour. I'm at 3,200 RPMs, so it's very slow to get going. This thing still ran a 6.14 60 to 130. Translation, an automatic version of this exact same setup, they run like 530s, 540s, 60 to 130. But that's because I'm starting off in a different gear ratio where I can be at 4,500 RPMs starting point at like 50, 55 miles per hour instead of being at such a low RPM and bogging the engine down to get accelerating. But still, a 6.14 doing what I just did, I will absolutely take it. And the tune-up, again, timing in it, we have this thing really nice and safe. Again, he's from Texas, so he has, we have horrible heat issues here when it comes to temperatures, so I like to keep these things as safe as possible. We can definitely get more aggressive with timing, but again, at this point, there's no need for it because he just gained, what is it, almost 200 plus rear wheel horsepower from package to package. Yeah, over 200, well over 200 rear wheel horsepower more. So I'm going to go do that one more time. I'm gonna do second gear, and it's gonna spin its ass off. I'm gonna leave traction control on and just roll through the gears to get more data, and we will go from there. But looking at the tune-up, it looks good. But again, this is, again, I keep saying it, we are at the max of the DI, just what a DI injector and a mechanical fuel pump can flow. And this is with putting aftermarket injectors in it, larger mechanical fuel pump. And a lot of people will say, well, why don't you put meth on it and have all the fuel you want? I don't like putting meth on these vehicles. We could do that, turn the boost up, and we can make 1,000 rear wheel horsepower with it. I just don't like meth setups, because if they fail, the car goes lean, it hurts itself. So I rather do it this way, run them DI only, where the customer can just put gas in the car and go. And then later, if Mr. Tullis really wants 1,000 rear wheel horsepower, he can bring it back. We will do port injection on it, so we'll have a standalone, another aftermarket ECM to control the port injectors, and we'll have all the fuel we need for as much horsepower as he wants. So if he ever decides to build a motor later, you know, we'll have enough fuel system for 1,500 horsepower on E85. But for right now, like I said, I keep these around the 900 rear wheel horsepower marks, just to keep them safe. We don't want the injector duty cycle to be through the roof and have to worry about having any issues. I just know he's gonna be cruising, little Mustang or Challenger's gonna pull up next to him. He's gonna wanna downshift it. I mean, that is so much fun. Second gear, again, it's spinning its ass off. Traction control is helping us do what we're doing right there. But it is hard to beat a car like this to drive. The horsepower, like I said, and the torque, it's so much fun. It is a blast to drive. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed this one, guys. Mr. Tullis, be ready. Your newfound horsepower is gonna be a big improvement over what you had previously. So take it easy, keep traction control on, please, at first for a while, and then even if you feel comfortable, I'd still leave it on. There's no sense in risking anything, in my opinion. But if you're at a drag strip or if we're out doing stuff, then obviously we turn traction control off. All right, so for those of you that have a package scheduled for us to ship your car in, or you're looking at possibly doing a package with us, feel free, if you're interested in a Fereday package, for you, whether it's your ZL1 Camaro, Camaro SS, new Corvette, Blackwing, V3, whatever, contact our sales staff, let them know you're interested in it. They'll put you through to me, and I will go over the aero packages I would recommend for your car, brake packages, wheel and tire combinations, cooling mods, the whole 9 yards, as if it was my car, depending on what you plan on doing with it. So it's pretty much me tailoring the car to fit your needs and goals 100%, which is kind of what our packages are to limit when it comes to the performance end. But I take it to the next level. I want it to look a certain way, drive a certain way, and just be an absolute badass car and a fun car to drive. So with that being said, you always get a serial numbered car. Every one that we do, we've done a lot of C8s lately. The ZL1s, now you can see right here, serial number 2. Last one went, and I forget what state it went to, but he's been drag racing the hell out of that one for quite a while now. This car's gonna stay in Texas. But again, just another thing, every car we do gets badges, but every Fereday edition is serial numbered. So from now, 10 years from now, everything will be serial numbered and fully recorded here. If you ever sell the car in the future or need anything, we will have all documentations of these builds. But again, if you're interested in it, contact our sales staff, and I'll get you taken care of. Thanks for watching this video, guys. If you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button. Give it a like if you liked it so far. And please turn on bell notifications for future content, as we have cool stuff in the pipeline that you're going to want to see. And as always, please comment below.